Hello, everyone. Welcome to my second channel, The X Investors. On this channel, I host people from X, people that invest in stock market in commodities like uranium, gold, silver, copper, or other commodities. Today, I have a very dear guest who I consider my friend, a person that spreads so much positive energy, and a person who brings smile to my face every time I look at his tweets. I present you my brother from another mother, Michael Huxley, aka Huxo. Welcome, mate.
Thanks for it. Oh, that's better. I can hear you now. Yeah, great. Oh, hang on, wrong phone. That's better. I've got you now.
I'm really,
Bruce,
yes, finally to have you in my show, Huxo. Welcome, mate.
Oh, thanks, brother. Very nice. Very nice to finally see you in person and have a bit of to chat, talk a bit of blather, and just have a rotten good time, mate.
Definitely. Before we start, I want to give a short disclaimer. I like Australian people, beautiful people. I like them very much and respect them a lot. But frankly, I don't understand their talk and accent 100%. So if I miss something in the interview, do not get mad at me, please. Huxel, let's start with your story. Tell us something about yourself. Where are you coming from? What do you do in your life? Tell us more, please.
Oh, mate, I've had like us all. We've all got a big story in life. Before I was investing, I was buying a little bit of real estate, blocks of land since I was 18 years old when things were a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Lost a little bit through divorce early on, built it up again, but lived in a car for a while while I was still working three jobs. So the car living wasn't too bad because I was only there for 4 or 5 hours a night.
Yeah.
The rest was working three jobs. Built myself back up again, bought some more land, built a house. Never let anyone tell me what I could and couldn't do. So always a self-made man, sometimes to my detriment, I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah, always a self-made man. Later on in life, I thought I might have a look at this stock market thing going around. Had a bit of money saved, so I thought, well, it can't be that hard. So I got onto the bank. They opened a trading account for me. And I thought, oh, well, but the theory was, well, if the banks are taking my money, they can bloody give me my money. So I bought bank shares. Did all right with them. The bank pays me rather than having the money in the bank ripping me off. I can take a
Definitely.
bit of their money. So I got involved in that way slowly.
Which year was
Then
that, Huxtable?
that would have been 2007, 2006,
So
before the uranium
you're
boom.
experienced investor, 20 year on the market, right?
Yeah, true. Then I
Nice.
thought about commodities and I thought, oh, zinc might be a thing. So I invested in a couple of zinc companies, did a little bit of okay, then it crashed, then it came back. You play the roller coaster. Then I got involved in a company over here called Oz Minerals. Um, they had their problems. They did end up doing very well after I sold out. Um, then I just started looking around the commodity space again, and I thought about uranium. I forget what popped up. No one was talking about uranium.
Yeah.
All the uranium was rusty barrels in the sea, people running around glowing. Um, I really knew nothing about it. I knew absolutely nothing about the nuclear power industry. I had no idea that the US or a quarter of the US is powered by nuclear power stations. I had no idea whatsoever. Then I started looking back in history. I looked at the 2007 run up. I thought, well, that's interesting. Why would it run up and drop back down? What's happening? It's come from a dog of a of a commodity to a run up and then drop back off. What's all this about? And the further I looked into it, the more I realized it was absolutely hated,
Yeah.
despised. I would talk to my friends and say, I'm thinking about investing in uranium. They just look at me like I had three heads and wanted to kill all the fish in the world.
I
And I
know the
thought,
feeling.
I mean,
Which year
I
was
know
that,
it's all been
Huxtable? Sorry, which year was it? Was
Yeah,
that?
oh, that would have been when I was investigating that, maybe 2008, I would say. So I'm passing around the pub test to the mates, and they hated it. They thought I was an idiot. They thought I was a fool. But for
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
I thought, hang on, I'm onto something here.
exactly.
So there was no, I had not heard of Mike Alkin, Rick Rule, no one back then. I thought, okay, well, it went from $75 a pound, it's down to 18. How low can it go? And it go up to 22, 23, and then it dropped back down. And so I started looking at a few Australian share companies. Um, and as you know, mining isn't banned in a lot of states over
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
So the more I looked into it, I thought there's something in this. So I tried to have a look and just get some information. And then I happened on to Mike Alkin talking stocks over a beer. Just after Mike had deep dived, peeled the onion skin back, and he gave a long talk on his theory. And I thought, bugger me dead. I'm not the only one in the room here. I'm onto something. There's one person in this world that knows something that I've known.
yeah.
But the way he peeled the onion skin back and exposed the core, I thought he's right, damn bloody right. I had no idea that we had another 15 years to wait. So I've started.
No, you were early, but you were right.
Well, everyone's
50
right
years
eventually.
early.
As long as you outlive the thesis, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, yeah. I have a confession to make, and I never said it, I believe, before. I have some stocks that I hold from 2008. We are in 2024 today, so I'm holding these stocks for 16 years. It's a small position like Mega Uranium. I have some UR Energy from 2008, some small position from Denison. Of course, I build up those positions much higher, but there are some initial investments that I hold from 2007 or 2008. So that's not a thing to brag about, but never, I don't care, right? That shows my conviction for uranium. Haxo, tell me,
Yeah,
yeah, what do you hold today? I mean, what uranium
yeah,
stocks do you hold today?
okay. I've got some show notes.
Okay.
Um, I'm only in ASX shares. To trade on the TSE is just too difficult from over here. I know people do it, but I don't want to go. I'm just happy the way I'm traveling at the moment. So very early on, I became invested in Toro Energy, and I believe you've got Richard for an interview coming up very shortly. So
Yes,
that's going to be an
exactly.
interesting interview. So and I was looking around at AGE back when they were 0.003 of a cent. And I started buying them. They're not huge positions, but at those cheap prices, you don't need huge positions, and everything's a risk, but you look at them now at 5 cents.
Yeah.
So currently in my list, I've got AGE, Alligator, I've got Bannerman Resources, because I absolutely, Brandon Munro is just the oh god of everything
Agree.
uranium,
Agree.
and a bloody nice man. He
Yeah.
knows his stuff.
Yeah.
So of course,
One of the smartest guy in the industry. I spoke with a lot of CEOs and market experts, and I can tell you, Brandon is among top five knowledgeable people when it comes to uranium.
and highly respected also.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And moving
definitely.
further down the chart, I've got deep yellow by default. Because I've invested in Vimy Resources.
Yeah,
And at that stage, Mike Hall was the man in there kicking butt and doing the grind, and he's got experience of bringing a mine to fruition.
yeah,
So I mainly and also Twiggy Forrest had a big play in Vimy at the time. As the story goes on, John made a bid for them. Did extremely well in the buyout.
Yeah.
Don't tell Richard, but I hope he buys our Toro as well.
Okay, I will.
You might even need to edit that out.
That's between us and 1,000 people that will see this video.
Okay. And I've got a just small position. I've got a small position in Lotus. Peninsula I'd never bought into until they had that recent 30% drop. And then I thought, well, I've been looking at them for a while. But when people are crying, I'm buying. So I thought a couple of grand into them. So I just got it sitting there. And it gives me exposure to the US, which is great. Wyoming, what do you say? Yeah.
Yeah.
Toro, of course, I've got a fairly large position in Toro. I've been a long-suffering Toro shareholder. Let's see what happens. I think the diversification with gold, nickel, separating the uranium assets, I think that's a massive thing. I think that's really good. I think Richard's he was holding back for a long time, but I think he's just doing this at the right time, believe me.
Yeah, some people reach out to me and said the same thing, and I will ask Richard specifically about this. So I look forward to hear his answer. What do you specifically like about Toro? Do you like their assets? I mean, uranium assets.
Yeah, I do. I do in particularly. Wiluna, Lake Maitland, all around that area. It's surface. It's not deep. Certainly ISR is on the cards. Benefication is they've modelled out a few different scenarios. I guess technology has changed since then as well, but I like it because it's not overly high grade, but it's pounds in the ground. It's there. It's up near the surface. I've followed the geology of it all, the rolling fronts, when they were just discovering the Wiluna area. And yeah, quite impressed. That's where I learned a lot about the geology of things. So very impressed with that. Also jurisdiction, I should say. The Labor government in Western Australia banned uranium mining. The previous government, there was two companies. There was Toro Energy, there was Vimy. They were going neck to neck, trying to push it through before the election. They got approved, basically within weeks, change of government, but that had to be their approvals had to be honoured by the next government. So basically, it puts a moat around them both. No one else can come in. If they start mining, there's no one else there.
Yeah.
But with the crash in iron ore prices, I think there's a lot of pressure on the Western Australian government to start looking at other avenues. Like Australia's got a third of the world's uranium, so and Western Australia's just got a shitload of it. So, I mean, at some stage, the government has to turn around and just like, we need to start boosting the coffers again because
agree that 100%. Do you see from the news headlines? Do you see the shift in government's opinion on that topic?
I see absolutely no shift in the current Labor government. We've got an energy minister that's all for renewables. Okay, renewables as in solar, wind, and batteries. If you mention nuclear, he's just starts attacking the opposition, saying it's too expensive, not in our country, would never work over here, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
We've got the opposition Liberal, Peter Dutton, pro-nuclear. We're starting to build nuclear submarines. So we've got, I don't know if you've heard of a young fellow called Will Shackle over here.
No.
So if you look up Will Shackle, he's in high school, he's year 12. He's a big nuclear advocate. He's bringing the government to account, especially the governments that's anti-nuclear. He interviews. Look him up. He's a young fella going places, and he's got the ear of Australia. He's got the ear of Macron. He's talked to Macron. Look him up. You'll be surprised, man.
I don't know how I missed that. Really. What's his name? Sorry, William.
Will at WILL Shackle.
Shackle. Okay, I will look into it.
Nuclear for Australia.
Yeah,
check it
yeah,
out.
definitely. Haxo, you said that you are not invested in TSX or US listed companies, but are you following some of the companies over there?
I always look at what's happening. Also the ETFs, URNJ, uh, next gen. Yeah, I'll always keep abreast of what's happening over there in the industry. Anywhere around the Athabasca as well. I'm into VAL Valor, who've just changed their names to Thunderbird.
Yeah,
I've got a fairly substantial stake in those guys. I know they're Greenfield and Moose Pasture Explorer, but they are in the Athabasca. They're in the hot zone.
yeah,
Um, and one of the main reasons I'm with them is because of Justin Trimble. Sky Harbor are the largest shareholder. The prospect generator uh, thesis.
yeah. One
So,
of the successful ones in the Athabasca.
mm,
So
so
Jordan
if
is doing a really good job in formatting his company as a prospect generator and really generating the revenues that cover the cost of the company. I like that model personally.
I'm glad you do, Lucian, because normally with something so far out in the pasture like VAL, they haven't been drilling. They need some other influence. Now they're under the Sky Harbor
Yeah,
umbrella. Um, all I have to do is put a bit in the damn ground and start going for it.
definitely. And who are your, let's say, favorite development companies, not exploration companies? Are you watching for, you said you're watching for next gen. Are you following Denison Mines, Anchor Energies?
Denison, next gen, certainly, or over here, certainly Boss.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, following them. They're going to be the people that start reaping in the rewards. First of all, I'd probably look a bit further out into the curve.
yeah,
Um, Cameco, I certainly should everyone should have would have, but Cameco certainly I should have had in my portfolio when it all just turned to absolute crap and they were about $14 a share. I thought, now's the time to jump in. I didn't, but honestly, it should have been a cornerstone of my investment, but it wasn't.
yeah. What about Uranium company CEOs? We mentioned Brandon, and he's one of a kind, as we agreed both. Do you have some other uranium company CEOs that you respect, that you think they're
I,
one of the smartest people in the industry?
yeah, certainly Marin Katusa, Amir Adnani. I certainly
You like Marin Katusa? That's very interesting
I do. He's a little bit sharp. He's a little bit out there, but
because
yeah,
he's from his origins are from Croatia, just like mine. Maybe that's the
uh,
reason.
that's why I like the man.
No, really.
Yeah,
Tell me
so
more. Tell me more about Marin Katusa. Why do you like it?
well, very early on, he was on a lot of podcasts. Talked to Mike Alkin, certainly talking to what's his name, Frank Curzio.
Yeah,
That's where I think I first heard him, Frank Curzio. I thought, man, I like this guy. He knows his stuff. He's written some. Haven't read any of his books yet, but I'm going to start. Um, but
yeah.
he's
He
just
has that book, Colder War, I believe that it's called.
that's that's right. And there's one, the Cold War and the Colder War. There's
Colder
there's a
War, I believe.
follow-on book. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he was one of the guys that was among the first when it comes to uranium. I was a subscriber of Casey Research in the days before, and he used to work at Casey Research. Not just him; it was a team. Doug Casey, Marin Katusa, and Lobo Tigre was working. There
Oh
were
yeah, yeah.
yeah, they were a part of the same team. It was spectacular service they provided, and Marin was very bullish on uranium sorry from day one. That is the part that I really respect from him. But after that, he went to his own, and he has his own company now that it's Research, I believe it's called right now. So I don't follow him anymore, but definitely an interesting guy and a good choice, Haxo. Who was the second on your list?
Oh, the grandfather, of course, Mr. John Borchoff.
Yeah, the man.
I'd let him adopt me as a grandson.
Yeah, no, John is also one
the
of
older grandson.
the question is has John get out of the bed? He always said, "I'm not getting out of the bed when we have $70 uranium or 65 or even 80." The question is he out of the bed? What do you think?
Well, it's come to the point where he has to get out of the bed. You know why?
Yeah,
Because with the latest raise, he's got over $200 million
yeah,
and his wallet's very fat, and you can't lie on a fat wallet for too long in bed.
agreed. Definitely. Who else, Haxo? So we have Marin Katusa, we have Brandon, we have John. Who else is on your list as a good
Oh,
CEO?
I would say, Goviax.
Daniel Major,
Daniel Major, of course, yeah. Daniel
brilliant guy.
Major.
No,
Oh,
brilliant guy. I agree 100%. And when people ask me, sorry to interrupt you, you will continue. But when people ask me, who do you respect? Who is one of the smartest CEOs out there? Daniel Major is always in my top 5 list. I spoke with Daniel a lot of times, really. That guy can cover the technical side, the exploration side, the company side. He has it all. I really, really respect Daniel. His company's Goviek's share is really suffering right now because of the Niger stuff, but also they have a great project in Zambia, really great project with great numbers. And Daniel will, I believe that that project will come online much before Maduela in Niger, if they succeed to bring Maduela at production. But back to my Daniel is really, really a sharp guy. Sorry for interrupting you. Please continue. What's your take on Daniel?
no, you're totally right. He explains everything. Like Mandawela is going to be a great place when it all starts happening. We know there's some problems with Nigeria at the moment with global. I mean, whether the Russians are in there or the Americans are in there, I believe sanity will prevail. At least there hasn't been, to my knowledge, massacres and that type of thing. But that's only to my knowledge. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it would be in the junta's best interest to keep business flowing, because, as you know, they're one of the poorest nations in the world. So no matter who's in charge, let's cool heads prevail. And if it's a permanent change, well, change happens. But if sooner or later, you've got to get back down to business and run the country as a country.
Yeah, and there is another factor. I mean, behind that company, the founder is Govind Friedland, and Govind is the son of Robert Friedland, who really knows how to run business in Africa. I mean, among jurisdictions that are not familiar as the great jurisdictions, but I believe that everything will be okay eventually. But of course, you never know. So let's see what happens. Haxo, what about your due diligence? What are the metrics that you look when you are screening one company and you want to invest in the company? What metrics are the most important to you when it comes to due diligence?
Well, sometimes due diligence I do follow. Other times I slip a bit off the radar as well with due diligence.
Okay.
For like in my not my moose. I do own a few moose pastures.
Like we
Some
all.
management's let me down. Well, management is key, of course.
Yeah.
Past record of bringing mines to production, of exploration, of being able to understand the geology, do the geology, But management comes first. Other companies I've invested in, I've been a bit disappointed with management. Some of the moose pastures.
Yeah.
I can't say who at the moment because they may be interviewed by someone
Okay.
or other people down the track. But let's just say a leopard can always change their spots, and we've been through an incredibly hard market. So even those that I thought were going to do okay probably haven't had the same communication skills as a lot of the other CEOs. They just don't, like, this thing has been boiling. Well, the bull market's been here for a long while, less the recent catalyst we've had. So a few CEOs are just still hiding behind the desk. They don't pop out. Like, they're good guys. They know their stuff, but they just don't show the. So to me, I know it's not all about publicity, but sooner or later, you've got to go, listen, can I have an interview? You know?
Right, definitely. Haxa, what about your exit strategy? When do you think you will exit your uranium position, or maybe take some money off the table, not exiting all the way, but when is that moment, or how do you connect that moment when you were take some profits and maybe invest in something else?
Well, mate, I'm not the only geezer, but I'm probably the main geezer that left a shitload on the table on 21. I'm guilty as shit. Like, hubris took over. All of a sudden, I'm intelligent. I know how to do this stuff. And man, hey, a few people know I left over $1 million on the table back then. I had some of my outlayers jump right up. And I thought, I'll let it run up another couple of hundred. Silly, man. I didn't know exit back then. All I knew was I had 15 years of entering positions. Who knows when you're going to exit? I don't know. And then all of a sudden it goes, well, it's finally hit. If it's hit now, for the next year, it's got to be double that as logic. No. Yes. It was just on one catalyst, as we know, spot entering the market, crashed back down. I didn't lose, but I'm back to what I put in is what I've still got. Oh, plus a little bit more. So
okay.
The exit strategy is, well, the strategy at the moment is I'm taking a little cream when I can because the market's just that waiting. I never used to take cream. I'd say I had slept in there, buy the dips, leave the cream. That's the way we used to do it back in the day. Yeah. So these days, I'm taking a little cream. Basically, I started doing that to cover a few medical expenses last year. But so I started taking a little bit of cream off DYL. That's the main milk cow at the moment.
Nothing wrong with that, Huxley. Nothing wrong with taking some cream. Definitely. I personally like to take some money off the table also from time to time because we are seeing, especially in uranium, big ups and big downs, and you have to ride it in the right way. So definitely you have my vote. Huxley, what about other commodities? Is there any other stocks in your portfolio from other commodities that you hold right now?
Just quickly before we get to that, Lucian, back to the exit strategy.
Yeah.
A 2x, it doesn't have to be 3, but a 2x, I'm out of the game. I don't have to wait for a 10-bagger, a 5-bagger, a 3-bagger, a 4-bagger. A 2x, a little bit of real estate.
Sure. Why not?
I had to go back to work, actually, just recently after my illness. Was planning on retirement before then, but that didn't happen. So every time I put the boots on and go to work, work are taking it a little bit easier on me at the moment. They're really looking after me. But yeah, it's every time I put the boots on, 21 brings up a sour taste in my mouth. So a 2x, sir, and we'll still be chatting, but I may not be chatting about uranium. I'll be off the course.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lucy. Next question.
Yeah, no problem. The question was, do you have any other investments in other equities that are not uranium equities? Do you have some other commodities that you are bullish and you have position in?
I don't at the moment, but because I know uranium is coming to an end, I'm starting to look around. Silver seems to be a big thing at the moment. I'm not studied up on enough on it. Like gold, certainly, like gold's a great hedge. Gold's fantastic. Oh, bless you, mate. You're right.
Thanks.
Have enough vodka.
I will.
So the big word, everyone's beating up, or not beating up, but everyone's on the silver trail at the moment. Because I'm a bit counter-secular, bit contrarian. If people were hating on silver, I'd probably be a little bit more attached to it, I guess. But certainly gold though. Gold is the thing. Like gold's the thing I would pull my bank shares out, which are providing tax-free dividend over here. Can't run the banks forever. So I'd be looking at hedging maybe a bit out into gold. Iron ore's down the toilet at the moment.
Yeah.
Which I like down the toilet.
Yeah.
So I'd seriously have to consider and Australia has a lot of iron ore. Everyone rode lithium up, rode it back down. I don't know where lithium is going to go, but it's hated enough for the Huxley to like it at the moment.
What about nickel?
Well, nickel, I've got with certainly with Richard Homsney and Toro, some great nickel prospects with them. So I've got nickel by default. Let's hope they concentrate on that nickel side of things and bring it up at the right time. It's again that had its big boom, it's had its major pullback. Nickel's a battery metal. I like it. The fact that Toro are now branching that off gets me. Before I hated nickel because Toro were chasing too many unicorns, chasing gold, chasing nickel. I want to chase uranium. You know, uranium's the thing. I don't want a nickel or gold or anything company. I want a uranium company, 100%. But now there's a three-way split. I'm starting to get interested in nickel again.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Final question, Hux. So you will have to name me 10 people from X, from Twitter, that you have the most respect or you like their content or something like that. So 10 people from X that really got your attention.
Oh, only 10. Okay.
Yeah, only 10.
No, mate. There's some great people out there that offer a lot of information. Which I used to be in hot copper before joining X. It was too hard to share information, share videos, the one-on-one conversations. There's a little bit of backbiting, bitchiness, that type of thing in hot copper. Then I thought I'd open a Twitter account, and my word, the amount of acceptance, getting to know people, the amount of information. Yeah. Certainly John Quates. I mean, does a guy ever sleep? Lucian, I mean, the man. What can I say?
Further. Let's move on.
My brother, we'll move on from that roustabout. Certainly Peter Grandich, great guy. Malcolm Rawlinson, another great guy. Yeah, really good guy. Malcolm's my older brother, I think. Dieter, Nav, Irish Kathy, a lot of those people when I was sick that I've just mentioned there reached out to me when I was very sick. You know the backstory. I won't go into it, but actually did reach out to me. Irish, I believe in a higher power. I believe in a God. I'm not saying I believe in a religion, but I certainly believe in a God. And I must shout out to Irish Kathy, who certainly talked to a lot of her friends that are in prayer circles and that type of thing. And me knowing, what's on the other side now and coming back, mate, I believe that the power of people that were actually, I don't expect, like I'm a self-made. I don't need people looking after me, but when I could look after myself, a lot of people were saying words upstairs to, and I believe that helped me, mate. Or it certainly brought me back. I'm a slow learner, mate. I'm sent back for a reason. Certainly for humanity to do more for people, to be a better person. I just wish it didn't take 3 months. I just wish I could have learned the first time. But anyway, as you know, mate, with your recent tribulations, it's we're both better pieces. We're not so grumpy anymore, are we?
No, definitely. No, really, some great people on X. I have to agree, and I made some really great friendship with people who I never saw in my life, and connected. One great example is you. So definitely, a lot of information. You get a ton of information on Twitter. You get friends over there, and the one thing that helps me in my investment is the sentiment. You can feel the sentiment over certain commodities, stocks when you are on Twitter. That really helps me in my due diligence or on my decisions to invest, divest, or something like that. You named, I believe, 6. You have 4 left.
Oh, certainly Justin Hume. Yes, certainly Justin Hume. Great guy. Justin's reached out to me a few times. Justin's great, and I started following him when he was doing the Free Market Minute. That was a way I got information. Then certainly going on Twitter, everyone's sharing information. You generally get an idea of what's what. There's someone I'm going to mention. I know he doesn't particularly like Justin. He's a bit of a cantankerous bastard, right? His name's Sol, right?
Oh yeah, Sol Goodman, right?
Now I know this is going to be a bit. Hey, love you, Sol.
Love it all. Yeah. Disclaimer.
But I just wish he'd let up with his being a narc all the time.
Yeah.
A narc, but I know the man behind the microphone. He's done very well out of uranium. He's a family man. I talk to him. I like the misfits of the world. But so every time you read a piece where he's just ranting off, he says to me, just like stirring the shit. I said, yeah, but you can, sometimes stop stirring the shit and just show the other side of you. Like we're all shit stirrers. In Australia, if you're not taking the piss out of someone, you don't like them. So I do have to mention Sol. He's a good guy behind the scenes. I just wish everyone knew that side of him. Unfortunately, he does what he does, but that's Sol. Hey, that's Sol. But
this video could help definitely with that.
Yeah, read into that. Also nostrils. Not Thomas. I just call him
Nostrils. Thomas. Yeah. My Slovenian guy.
and certainly Beta man.
Agreed. No, I believe that is 9. You have 1 left.
Oh, 1 left. Oh, that one's going to have to be a mate of mine in Hot Shot Guy. I'm going to have to go to 11. There's Hot Shot Guy, Miles from Queensland. He's the only YouTwit I've met in real life, and to have that experience of seeing someone in the flesh you talk to all the time on Twitter who's in uranium. He came down to the beach here with a mate of his. We saw each other at a distance. We did the slow run up, slowly running up, and the big hug and spin around, man. He's a really good guy. And certainly Dazza from Queensland, Darren. Yeah, he used to be a pot farmer, marijuana, legitimate, not the sneaky stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Very knowledgeable guy. Yeah, him and I got a really good friendship, so I'd have to mention Dazza as well. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was Huxley, the author of Huxley Report, and he will continue to bring us joy and laughter on X with his Huxley Reports. Mate, thank you very much for this interview. I really enjoyed it.
Just one moment.
Sure.
Oh, hang on. Wrong phone. Oh, yeah, Olga. Yeah. Yes, Olga. That time in the Urals, that that was beautiful. With that Russian vodka and all that. Anyway, I can't talk. I'm on the phone to the big world at the moment. Thousands of people. What do you want?
Say hi to
Oh,
Olga.
Vladimir. Oh, hang on, Olga. Before we continue, Lucian, Croatian. He's just said to say hello. He's my main man. I'm just talking to him and the rest of the Twitter world. He's just said hello. Ah, you'd like to meet him? Oh no, he's a happily married man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't worry about it. Oh no. Hey, Olga. Now why'd you ring me? No, I can't talk to Vladimir at the moment. Yes, I know he wants to retaliate against the US. No. Oh, she's hung up on me. Drop the pig.
Brilliant Huxley report once again. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Huxley. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Lucian. An absolute pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much.